All right, let's get into the questions. I'm 26 and live near Seattle. How do I keep the delicate balance in terms of giving attention? If I don't talk to the girl enough in the beginning, they'll lose interest in me. On the flip side, when I show too much affection, the girl stops talking to me. I just got ghosted a couple of days ago in a situation that was going great. A side question. I tend to blame myself for the poor behavior of girls. I attribute the ghosting to some deficiency on my end. What are ways to maintain my self-image and confidence in the face of these failures? This is a question for the ages, I swear. I get this quite a bit because when I give the advice to guys that you shouldn't be texting in between dates, it rocks their world. It rocks their world. But the main answer here is you, no matter what, you always have to be filtering for women who have a high level of interest. But we'll go into that in a second. So your question is how do we delicate the balance in terms of giving attention? If I don't give a girl enough, she'll lose me. If I give her too much, she stops talking to me. I wish I had more detail here of how much attention are you giving. Some guys think that they're not giving a lot of attention when they really are. So I'll give you an easy step-by-step process to follow. When you're dating, when you're going out there and you're dating and you're meeting women and you're getting the dates and you're on the dates and you're setting up more dates, you can show affection, you can show interest on the date. I think where it starts to crumble, coming back to what I said a second ago, where it starts to crumble is where you're texting and talking to them and trying to do all this communication in between the dates. Now, a lot of guys say, won't you lose interest? Well, you're not thinking ahead. Instead, think about, well, why don't you set up a date and then you don't have to text in between because she knows that you're interested and interested enough. And if you're a high-value, busy guy, which you should be, well, then that shouldn't be a problem in theory. Now, is it a perfect method? Is this going to work every single time? No, it won't. There are going to be women who are going to fall off because they want that constant attention. That's not a woman you should be with anyways. Or they'll fall off because they actually weren't that interested in you. So the balance you'll do is you're going to try to see them once a week. If it takes longer than once a week, set up a FaceTime date. So it doesn't go 2-3 weeks in between dates if someone gets busy. So that's why you do a FaceTime date so you can keep the interest going, which is much stronger than doing texting and getting to know them on text. The reason why you don't want to text is because there's actually more room for error. Guys think that there's less room. They think that no, there's room for error if we don't text because then she's going to forget about me. No, there's more room when you're texting in between dates. I've had women who have told me stories of this. The guy's texting and trying to get to know her, and it just seems needy and strange. So you don't want to be texting in between dates. It's a polarizing concept. Listen, if you don't believe me, try it out yourself. You might say, well, I don't know how much to text in between dates. I don't have that advice for you. I don't have the formula for when to text them in between dates because you shouldn't. Only should you to set up the date. So it's fine to text them to set up the date, but you're enter at your own risk with trying to come up with conversation topics and things to talk about over text. So that's how you balance that out. That's a step-by-step process there. Okay? A side question, and this is a great next question he asks here because it kind of brings it to the next point. He says he tends to blame himself and he wants to know ways to maintain his self-image and confidence in the face of these failures. I think that you got to stop labeling it as a failure. I don't know why we're using such strong language, like you failed. Yeah, I mean, the girl's not interested anymore. I don't know if that's like a failure. I mean, yeah, sure, if that's the way you want to look at it, I see it as an opportunity to see what I can do better next time. I don't know if it's necessarily about your self-image. You're correlating it to your self-image, but I think that we need to look at this in a different way. I think that there are things that men and women are attracted to. And if you're not a person who's displaying those attractive traits, And this is kind of related to today's topic. And if a woman's not doing that either, attraction won't occur. I see it more as a behavior than looking all the way to such a deep degree of your self-image and who you are. Like you're this really shitty person. Now, listen, I get it. Trust me, I get it. I know that most people do that. I've done that before. I understand that you were going there. But what I'm trying to coach you and tell you right now is just don't go there. Don't label it as such. This is a fast way to kill your resiliency. It's like you get off the bike or you fall off the bike after trying to ride the bike and you just sit there saying, well, how much of a loser you are. Well, what's going to get you back on that bike? Sitting there and thinking that, or continuing to go and seeing what you could do better? That's the stoic way of looking at it.